everyone, welcome to the shutter installation part of our project, and hopefully it's going to be part of your project as well. The Kimball shutter is an absolutely fantastic product for a number of reasons. First of all, it's extremely well engineered. It has only a few pieces. By the looks of it, it's going to last forever. So what we did was we took apart the entire thing and we'll explain the pieces and put it all back together for you. So that way you get to see how the whole thing works, and it's a lot easier than to manage the whole process. So this is the actual shutter box that sits on top of the window, and you'll see that down the road. The shutter sits on a roll. The motor is inside the shuttle, the shutter container, the scroll if you will. This is a slightly smaller unit. If you have a little bit larger unit, then the motor sits on the outside, but everything is exactly the same. The shutter is aluminum, and it comes in number of standard colors, and I think you could even get whatever color you want. It comes fairly assembled. So the box is actually upside down right now because the track will come out here. I just flipped it over so that you can see, get a better view of the entire process. So now let's go over the other components. Oh, and by the way, before I forget, there's this little wire sticking out through the side, which you can have actually coming out the top or the side or wherever you need access to the wiring. This then is fed into a standard electrical outlet. So it is powered. You can pick up the power from any point near the shutter. So let's move on to the next part and the rest of the components. Next, I'm thinking inside the box you're going to find some styrofoam pieces, which will show you how they fit back in. Little grooves in here. What they do essentially is serve two purposes. Number one, insulation of course, and number two, it keeps the shutter mechanism tightly confined. So it also makes it quieter as well, and the mechanism is very quiet. There's a little bit of weather stripping. Well, it looks like a hairy little thing, like a giant centipede. This is a guard where the shutter comes out. We took that out for you as well. These are the two plastic pieces, vinyl, three pieces, which will show you how to install, and that will form the bottom of the box. The shutter itself, when it exits the box down in front of the window, run down two tracks. So the shutter comes in, and again we'll show you how that works. This will be on the two sides of the window, and the window is behind it, and the shutter just slides beautifully down all the way down to the bottom. There are a couple of these straps, steel straps, that will be used to attach the box itself to the window. So we'll show you how that works. And you'll have some of these. You'll be using 2 or 3 or 4, depending on the size of your own particular mechanism, to attach the box to the outside frame of your window opening. Now, one very important point when you're planning the shutter installation is to make sure that the rough opening where you're going to install the shutter is larger than the window. Typically, if you just install a window, you're going to add a 1/4 inch all around. So if you have a 3 foot by 3 foot window, your rough opening will be 3 feet and a 1/4 inch by 3 feet and a 1/4 inch. Here, you're going to have to add the width of the track, which is basically 3 inches, or equivalent of a 2 by 3. You'll get the exact measurements from the manufacturer, from Kimball directly, so don't worry about that. So you'll be adding this to the width of your rough opening, and you'll be adding the height of your box to the rough opening as well. So when you frame in your rough opening, it's going to look much larger than it actually will after it's all closed in. So tools you need, very straightforward. You need a Robertson, a screwdriver, doesn't have to be powered, you can use it by hand, a flat-headed screwdriver, and a Phillips screwdriver. So these are the components. So now let's go over the window itself to see how that's assembled. Alright, so now we've got the window here. Your window will be similar. There are two types of window installations. You'll see these little brackets here, which may not be on your particular window. The reason it is on this window is because the windows themselves are made of fiberglass. So the manufacturer provided us with a bunch of these clips, and these clips slide into the tracks, and just like that, and you snap them in. So when the window is installed, then these are the clips that will hold the window in place. For our situation, we needed to use these clips to affix 2x3, standard 2x3 off-the-shelf stock lumber onto the two sides of the window. And those are the pieces that are going to hold this in place. So no matter what your particular window configuration is, you have to attach two 2x3 pieces of lumber the exact length of the window, the exact height of the window on both sides. In some cases you can screw directly through the frame as if you were attaching the window into the rough opening, or screw it right into the 2x3 from the inside and then plug it up. We use the clips, but the process and the application and the end result is exactly the same.